Let's start the show.
Yeah,
Welcome to another episode of Elevated Dialogue. Everybody's here. We're going to jump right into it. The topic of the evening, last week, today, yesterday, tomorrow, and forever is going to be the smack heard around the world with Will and Chris Rock. So, whoever want to start, what are your thoughts?
Chris, you want? I want to start with that.
Now, ain't nobody got no perspective.
No, no, no. You
Okay,
want to start first.
I'll say this. I'll start then. From my perspective, I mean, I didn't know. Like I told you guys before, I didn't know what was going on. I heard from people what was going on, and all of a sudden, I saw it, and I saw the clip. And from my first initial perspective, I thought, okay, it's certain things as men that we don't say to each other, and there's certain things and certain jokes we don't make. Maybe we joke on each other, but your significant other, that might be off limits. And I thought that he probably drew the line, and Will didn't like it, and then he walked up and and he handled his business. You know what I mean? But I see so many different perspectives out there. But from what I tell people, how we interact with each other in a locker room or just wherever, it's certain things that you just can't say to certain men. Certain people, because you better be ready to fight. Let's just say that, and you just can't cross the line. And I thought right there, he probably thought Chris Rock crossed the line, so he handled his business like a man. That's what I say.
You think that was handling it like a man? Really?
I mean, not. I mean, if that in that context, I mean, it's just certain things you just don't say to a man. I mean,
But
if you
but
draw,
but,
if you the
but
thing is like if in certain places, if you draw them, if you say certain things, you just better be ready to fight. That's just how it is.
so the history of the Oscars. You think that was the worst joke you ever heard
Man, I'm
from
not
Chris
an
Rock?
Oscars watching type of guy.
Okay, so then you're going off. Let's just say there's worse jokes that were said, but do you think that joke that he said? You're telling me you think that was offensive?
For me, I mean, it's not for me. It's for Will Smith and his wife.
Okay,
It's
no,
his
let's
perspective
put it in
that
the context.
matters.
Let's put it in the context of Will Smith's wife having alopecia that he may or may not known she had, which is not a life-threatening thing. It's not uncommon. A lot of
Right.
women suffer from it. But do you think he said it in a way that would warrant a man at Will Smith's level to go up
Level.
well, he is at a certain level. He's not like the
Right,
normal guy
right.
walking
He's
on the
just a
street.
man, just like us, dude.
It
I hate,
doesn't
I
matter.
hate that.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's go with the platform. Let's go with the platform he's on. You think
yeah.
next to the clientele and the people that he's in the room with, they're at a certain level and an elite status, right? And for that genre. So do you think in that genre, that setting, first time produced by black producer in that setting, you think he actually conducted himself like a man that it was warranted?
Honestly, just like I said, from the parts of where I grew up, respect is a big thing, and some men, that's how they handle disrespect. It is
So
what it is. Certain
then
things
that's
you don't cross the line.
okay, then that's a perfect reason why we should never be invited because we act like
We?
that.
Who's we?
Well,
What
you're
you
saying
mean?
you're saying the projects, the people that come from that and this and that. You're saying
I
that,
didn't say projects. I'm just saying where I'm from. I'm giving my perspective, just like we talk
but
about in this
but it
show.
but,
Yes,
okay,
go ahead. Go ahead.
but whew, I, it's just that you see, there's an image out there, right? All he did was prove the image right. That's all he did. That shows that he turned something into something that it's not, right? He turned at that platform something watched worldwide. You have a chance to be professional, which obviously we have a problem being because if that was my woman, I'd have to come up and justify it and shit. And we don't even have the thinking process to think, wait a minute here. I'm gonna I'm not gonna react like they expect me to react. I'm gonna hold my tongue because had that been a white comedian up there, he would have sat right there, do his coon smile like everybody says, and wouldn't have done nothing. I would be curious to see if it was Monique that's told that joke, or a white comedian like David Spade. He wouldn't have gotten up, or maybe even The Rock, or
I
maybe even Jason Momoa.
Well, of course. Now I'll tell you, The Rock. He might think twice about smacking The Rock.
He wouldn't have done that if that was a
But
white comedian.
but the whole thing is, like we can't tell another man how to react. I mean, this is how he felt. If he felt disrespected,
Okay, so he's acting.
He handled it in the way he felt like in the moment. Now you can take hindsight is 2020. You can look back and be like, oh man, I shouldn't have did this and that. But in the moment, that's how he felt and that's how he reacted. For me, I'm neutral in it. Like that's how he felt. That's what he wanted to do. And I'm explaining to you about where I grew up, in the parts where I grew up, you had to be careful with your tongue or be ready to fight. You can't say certain things to certain people. That's all I'm telling you. Whether you think it's right or wrong, professional or not.
You think it's right or wrong? How about this? How about this?
This is just life. This is just life.
Okay. Do you think
can't say certain things to certain people? Be ready to fight. I'm just saying.
Do you think it's right?
I just told you I'm neutral about it.
What? But wait, if you had an opinion, because that's what we're generally speaking, we have opinions.
Right.
Do you think it's right?
I'm neutral about it. If you feel like
you have no opinion about it.
I don't. If you feel like you want to smack a man, have at it. What I'm saying to you is
we've learned nothing. We've learned nothing.
What I'm saying to you is watch your mouth. That's it.
So,
because if you don't watch your tongue, it never happens.
So it doesn't matter.
So don't talk about the man and his wife. You don't get smacked.
So it doesn't matter. So let me get this straight. I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. It doesn't matter the platform. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about you. It doesn't matter your conduct. It doesn't matter in the state that you're in. It doesn't matter. It all goes by how you feel to react, right? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying. What I'm telling you is consequences behind your actions.
Right, and consequences. I get the consequences behind your actions.
It was a smack for him. It was a smack.
Wait, the consequences behind your actions is one thing. I'm talking about the consequences and the act you chose to do at the time you chose to do it. You're telling me, based on that, because of how you act in certain consequences, you do that?
Look, that's what he felt like. This is what he did.
And that's exactly why we have the image we have.
What image do we have? Talk to
Yep. That because you know why? That's exactly why. That's exactly why. And I'm gonna say it. That's exactly why they don't want to include us, because we have that.
Who's us and what are you talking about?
Take it for what it is.
I don't want to go to the Oscars anyway. I don't want to be included. I want you to say it.
No, you're a smart guy. I'm gonna speak like you. I don't have an opinion. Right? Does that right? Because I'm not saying
he's wrong. I'm not saying he's right. He reacted in a moment, and he felt like that's what he should have did.
And that's exactly why it's in the state that it's perfect. It's you just said it right there. That's perfect. That's it. Whoo, man. Okay. What can you say to that? That's why I'm telling you. What can you say to that?
Consequences behind your actions,
right, and you should be, and that's why
you have to be careful how you talk to people. That's regardless if you think it's a joke, you don't know how the other person's going to receive it.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful of what you're saying to people.
It's the Oscars. You in the history of the Oscars, that they've been there before. So it's not like they don't know the jokes that are going to come out, right? You're going off history. They know what's going to come out. They know. It's not like you're going in there like a La La Land. So you're going in there with knowledge. So if you're going in there with knowledge, knowing the type of jokes that Chris Rock has said in the past, worse than that, and he's insulted people, black people, worse than that. So you know what you're going into. It's not like you don't know. It's not like you weren't expecting it. It's not like you're an idiot and I'm walking in there. No, you know, right? So if you know what could be said, mentally, I would think you prepare for it, because you're in the front row. You're about to receive an Oscar. Everybody knows that. You know your environment and you know your circles. So if you know all this, why go? Why? Hey, why go and make an ass out of yourself?
You take that up with Will Smith. He smacked him. He needed to do that.
That is the perfect
take it up. So if you want to go call him up and tell him he's wrong. Okay? I'm telling you, I'm neutral about it. How he felt is how he felt. Go pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, Will, you were dead wrong, and you make us look bad." That's what.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. He did exactly what they expected us. He did exactly what they expect us to do. He did it perfectly. perfectly. He made it every reason he gave them, every reason to prove right. That's what he did.
What do you
We,
mean?
we, we need to bring shame back. We need to bring shame back. We need to bring shame back. That's what we need. But we have none. But you know what? We have none. We just need to react. We just need to react because somebody stepped in our space. That's right. We're a reactive society. We don't think, we just react. We don't think, we just
I
react.
just know when you're dealing with men, it's a line.
That's right. And it does.
I
That's
don't
right.
care what race. I don't care if you disrespect a man. Just be ready to throw those hands.
Right.
That's
And
all.
you know what? If you know what? You're absolutely right. But if I'm going into an environment that I have knowledge of what's going to be said and what's going to be heard, I'm going to prepare myself for it. I'm not going to go in with blazing guns. I'm going to go in. You know what? I know.
Be like Chris Rock, smacking, just looking, right?
What?
Yeah, you'll be just like Chris Rock, smacking, and you're just looking, right?
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what? Unlike Chris Rock, I would have sued him for everything he had and loving it every minute. But I know this for a fact. Had it been a white comedian up there or a woman,
probably shouldn't have closed his hand.
Had it been a white comedian up there,
he probably shouldn't have closed his hand.
Had it been a white comedian up there, his ass would have sat right down doing the coon smile and saying shit. And if it was a woman, he wouldn't have even tried to. I would love to see him try to slap a woman. That would have been great.
That's your perspective, but
that's my perspective. No, everybody knows that. You just don't want to admit it. Everybody knows.
That's what you think about it. I didn't really think much of it. I just like when I saw it, like I said, Will probably felt disrespected, and he smacked him. That's all I took from it. Everything else,
said if it was
I didn't even take it for us and this people. He doesn't represent me. He's a whole nother person.
I wonder how people would have taken it if it was reversed. The white guy got up and slapped the black guy.
We
would have tried racism.
I was looking at it at a line of disrespect. I wasn't even looking at racist, black man, blah, blah, blah. It was just the words that came out of his mouth. He felt disrespected. He didn't like what he said about his wife.
And he acted like that.
And he handled it the way he felt like at the moment.
What was right like people expect us to act. No, you can say it like it is. He acted like they expect us to act.
I don't think that way, Antoine. I don't think that way.
It's okay. He acted like
he's his own individual man. He doesn't represent me.
He proved everybody right. That's all he did that night. He proved everybody right. That's all he did.
What you got, Coach?
He turned the Oscars into the BET Awards. That's what he did right there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, except there was no cat fight. You know, there was no cat fight. There was no weed pulling.
Can I interject real quick? Yeah, so I'll be honest with you. I don't disagree with none of y'all. If I'm just completely honest, I don't disagree with any of y'all. But when you go back and look at it, Will was actually laughing at the joke himself. Like if you go back and pay close attention, he was laughing. So I think it's a little bit more behind the disrespect. I think the disrespect that he experienced wasn't the disrespect that came from Chris Rock first. I think he was put in between a rock and a hard place. Now, again, I want to make sure I say he's a grown man. He make his own decisions.
Right.
But when you go back and look at that film, he was laughing at Chris Rock when the camera was pointing at Jada, and Jada made her face. I believe, because we didn't get the camera view, I believe at some point he did this and seen the look on her face, and she was upset. And that's the thing that moved him to action. Now, I'm going to go back because, like I said, he's a grown man. You commit a crime. Depending upon how egregious the crime is, there is a classification that they call premeditated, which means that you had time to think about the crime that you actually committed. So in the midst of him walking, he had the ability to think about what he was actually doing. Let me inject some more to the conversation as well. My wife that is sitting, not right beside me, but sitting in close proximity of me, if you catch what I'm saying here, she had the ability, because trust me and believe, there is no place in the program where I'm supposed to be getting up at this particular point in time. So she had the ability to ask me where I was going, but that never happened. So I look at it at multiple layers of failure when it comes down to this. Sure, the joke was distasteful. It got it. He, talking about the man wife. I got it. But, again, I agree with both of you guys, and I agree with Antoine. This is what they do. This is common. Is it right, though? And I think that's something that everybody's going to start going back and taking a look at. Should we be making jokes at the expense of other people, right? But then, again, I'm laughing. She's not happy. I look at her, see she's not happy. Now I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. Because first of all, let me remind myself that I was laughing. I got to deal with this riding home. You see what I'm saying? So now what do I do? Because you seen me laughing, and if I do nothing, now I'm stuck. And I don't want to hear this for the rest of the night or for the rest of the week. If you're just completely honest, I mean, I don't know how the women y'all dealt with, but if they didn't get, if they don't feel heard, you're gonna hear it from time to come. See what I'm saying? So he made a decision. I think that's the most important thing to realize. He made a premeditated decision, a thought, something he pondered within that 5 seconds it took him to get up out of his seat, get all spiff it up and button up his jacket and walk up there to that young man and smack him and then turn around and, peacock a little bit, because that's what he did. Let's be
did it for her. He only did it for her. He only did it for her because he was laughing. He was laughing in the joke, and he laughed like everybody else. And so he laughed like everybody else, but then I look over at my wife and she's offended. Oh, you know what? Let me go try to reclaim my manhood after she emasculated me for so long. Yeah, let me go up there and try to reclaim my manhood like an idiot and flush my career down the toilet. Yeah, I'm going to give up my career for that woman right there.
Because he smacked I doubt that's the case. But anyway, Coach, the thing is, all right, so from your perspective, Coach, does Will Smith represent you? Vic, does he represent you? Uncle Junior, does he represent you? You know what I mean? Garfield, like, what do you guys think about this? This is his own individual man, just like you said, Coach. It was premeditated. It was his choice. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Will Smith is an entertainer, man, and just like he smacked his peer. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if he wasn't an actor, man, the dude that played Ali and the Venus and Serena's daddy, he ain't reset nobody's culture, man. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, his show on TV is The Fresh Prince got a spinoff. You can't get away from Will. He's done everything. He didn't flush his career down the toilet. I Am Legend. He flushed himself down the toilet.
Yeah, he did. Oh yeah,
it's delusional.
This is what he's going to be remembered for.
And that's why they're making a sequel.
They're going to be. This is what he's going to be remembered for.
He's not going to be remembered.
Let's see that sequel comes out.
In a couple weeks.
Hancock watched his career down the toilet.
Let's see.
Pursuit of Happiness it doesn't matter no more.
Let's see if they run for that contract. Let's see.
Will Smith just did a documentary with him traveling all over the world.
Exactly.
Let's see. He's about to make more money. You know what I'm saying?
And he gave Chris such a great apology too. The next day, written by a lawyer. Nice apology, class act, bro.
Are you saying that Will Smith doesn't represent you, Vic?
His actions don't represent me.
I didn't say anything about his actions.
Well, that's what we were talking about, right? If we don't talk about his actions,
Will Smith represents the community.
If we're not talking about his actions, then what are we talking about?
He represents the community.
No, he doesn't. He represents a bunch of actors.
No, he doesn't. He represents the black community.
We need to stop that. I think we had that conversation. Those people do not represent us. We need to stop connecting that. We need to stop that. Just because we see them on TV, we need to stop doing that. He does not know we exist.
When it goes well, it's the community. When it goes well, it's the community. When it goes well, it's the community. But when it goes shit, it's the individual. Got it.
Shit happens.
Got it.
That's what you say.
That's what you say.
Yeah.
Antoine, you look away.
I'm the only one saying
Antoine, you actively look for ways to not be black. Every day, every time you get on, you find another way to not be black.
That's what you
got a whole book.
Right.
I got a whole book ready to take away the equity that you give entertainers. There's people like you that give entertainers and athletes too much equity. The person that's in the street wearing an ankle monitor don't give a fuck about a Will Smith movie.
Listen. He did exactly what code is supposed to do. He did exactly under code what you're supposed to do. A man insults your wife, let me go up and flush my shit down the toilet.
Will Smith made a decision based on his personal placement and access. Like a lot of y'all want to slap somebody, but you can't get close to him. And then here's the other thing too. The other part of it is this right here.
He acted on code.
You probably talking like somebody that got their lips slapped off before.
He acted on code.
And it triggered you. You see what I'm saying? But like you can't put the whole black community behind the building because one black man slapped another black man. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here, Antoine.
Violence. That's all you know. The code is on violence.
None of that. none of that you saying passed the common sense test. You trying to write. You literally trying to write Will out of history because he slapped somebody else that was his peer. That's the stupidest shit I've heard.
Yeah, of course, because everything's on code. Of course, he did it on code.
Look, I remember a story back when I was something that happened back when I was in middle school, and I think we were in 6th grade at the time, and one of the kids, one of my peers, decided to joke on this girl every day. He didn't know that she had a brother in the 8th grade. One day we were in the locker room for PE, and Leon came in there. And Caleb was the one, joking on the sister. Leon jacked him up, threw him up against the locker, say, "Don't mess with my sister no more." Threw him to the ground, and he was shooken up. And all I'm telling you is, Antoine, from where I'm from, you have to watch your mouth. That's all I'm saying. And he didn't like it, and he chose to react the way he wanted to react.
Where you're from, though.
Whether right or wrong, all I'm telling you is, in certain places, in certain spaces, you don't disrespect certain men or be ready to throw your hand. That's all I had to say.
Then don't go to the event. Stay home. Stay home. Don't go. You know what? Pick your wife up. Do the class act. Pick your wife up and leave. That's all. You know what? I'm not having this. Honey, we're out of here. Pick your ass up and leave. Class act. Fitting up your tie. Say, Denzel, have a nice evening, everybody. I'm not staying for this. And leave. But no.
That's what you would do.
Oh,
that's what you would do.
That would be too good. That would be too good. We got to make a scene. Yeah, we got to make a scene.
I don't understand. That was his personal choice.
Yeah.
And all I'm explaining to you, in certain spaces, I understand that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, certain spaces, really. That's a perfect space. You couldn't do it backstage. Nah, you have to let the world see you're an ass. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You have to let the world see that, you know what? I'm a simp. I'm trying to regain my manhood for this woman who took me through the ringer on the red table. Let me go and stand up and put my balls between my legs. For 2 seconds, let me have it back.
Still his wife, so he can react however he wants. It's his wife. Yeah. All things are true. Right. I like that. It is.
All things are true. You know what I'm saying? Antoine has multiple realities where he's always right. So it's always true. You see what I'm saying?
I'm always right.
Like we speak from a different life experience. You know what I'm saying? Like we speak from a place of authenticity.
You have no shame. I do.
People get hurt for saying the wrong things. We've seen people that but what we don't do is try to take away each other's authentic experience. You know what I'm saying? So like I understand what you're talking about, EJ. And here's the thing: I don't condone anything. I don't condone any violence towards anybody. Let me say it like that. However, as Coach has always said before too, conflict is communication also. Okay, so like what you don't know is what was discussed long before. These folks are peers. They know each other. They live around each other. You don't know what type of energy that they giving off. It's been well documented that Chris has had some barbs, you know what I'm saying, aimed at Jada or Will or whatever. And I get he's a comedian, but understand this too. Like treat it like the police officer, right? You know how police officers say, "Oh, it's a hard job," whatever, right? Hey, Chris, this is the hazard that come with your job. You tell the wrong joke, you might end up in a situation. If you don't like it, find something else to do. That's one layer. That's one way to look at it. So that's true as well. I chose to write something the other day, and some of you guys may or may not have caught it. And I call it like, it's my little segment I write on Facebook called the Reheated French Fries. So I sent a link in the chat. So you guys, the reason I call it Reheated French Fries because nobody likes reheated French fries. Okay. But you're going to try them every now and then. You might throw them in the oven. They'll suck in the microwave. They rarely taste good. So there's no.
Hey, real talk though. That air fry though.
Yep.
Bro, air fry get them real close, bro.
Yeah,
real close.
EJ, you muted. Hey, what you got to say, EJ? Because I'm gonna read it in a minute. Oh man, are we lost?
Unmute.
Who got him muted? We can't hear him.
I can't hear him.
Oh, he got a.
Yeah, we lost you.
Now he's muted. Now he's unmuted.
Yeah.
Oh man, we lost you, EJ.
Oh man, he got to restart. Oh man, that's what it sounds like. But You want to hit a breaking point right here, and that way we can bring it back in, or you want me to go ahead and read through it because I don't want EJ to.
My bad. No, my mic.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, we
I
good.
pulled it out by mistake. Yeah.
All right.
He was excited. What did you say though, real quick?
Yeah,
I said the air fryer bring it back to life.
Bro, I told you the air. Bro,
the air
I was
fryer
baby.
Bro, I was like one of the last people to get one. Somebody gifted me one, man.
Look,
bro, the fries.
And then like Unc always gets something at the end and call everybody, say, hey man, y'all heard about these air fryers?
Yeah, I was late. That's me.
Hey, but let me read this though. It's called a Reheated French Fries, and the entry is Jada chose the red table over the code. And it's of course I'm the author. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. I say when I say some women have no code, Jada is an example that comes to mind very quickly because of her equity and Will's response to Chris Rock's joke. All women have influence over men that they've had children with. She knew that Will would show violence at some point and knew he would and could hurt most people in their industry. Women know what their men are capable of, and that's part of the reason why women stay with men that will exhaust all of their resources for their comfort. Jada gave Will the Leonidas head nod and basically told Chris Rock that he isn't authorized to make that joke regardless of his message or his profession. Will's slap was the equivalent of Leonidas' Sparta kick when he kicked Xerxes' messenger into the pit. You don't get to limit someone else's reaction to your opinions, jokes, and half-truths at their expense. People are going to stop acting like Will is soft or something. People tried talking about Chris Brown the same way. Thought because he dances and sings that he won't stand up for himself at some point. But ultimately, this is the price of living your life in the public eye. Your business is everyone else's. Jada was too comfortable with it for too long. I'm sure she has some things that she would say less of if the opportunity was realistic. She chose the red table as her platform, and that exposed Will's patience more than anything. But that's not the case. I'm writing this all to say that when I say some women have no code, eventually it comes to a point when we have to say this. How did this situation begin? When you come up with the reasons after all the finger pointing, what do you do with that information? Most people stop there, make jokes at the expense of others. I'm guilty of doing something similar in other arenas, but in relationships, I just observe and apply my own life experiences to the current topics. That's called trying to relate. When we can't relate, we make jokes. Depending on the nature of the joke, that's a certain person or a group of people that can't participate in a joke without getting taxed in some way. Chris Rock is the last person to joke on someone's relationship, their significant other, or their place in the industry. Will Smith isn't soft. He may have had simp behavior because he has too much to lose while still protecting his family name. Jada has no code. She has a brand. That's the difference. She chose the red table over protecting Will's mental health. Jada gave the head nod to Will like Queen Gorgo when her brand was threatened. Both Chris Rock and Will Smith were pitted against each other by Jada, and Chris Rock was the last to know. Y'all got to keep certain people's relationships out of your insult playlist, even if you're a comedian. Jokes bring insight, knowledge, and unsuspected mentorship. They can also bring the reality of men's mental health into the spotlight and show how hypocritical we all can be at a moment's notice. Ultimately, people are still going to make jokes with limited understanding of either perspective. Some will say Will was wrong. Some will say Chris Rock was wrong. Some will say Jada was wrong. I will say that nobody's innocent and all things are true. These are the risks of their professions. Teachers get slapped by students because they spend the most time with the angry students. Chris Rock got slapped based on his proximity to certain information and tried the red table as an easy target. Jada sent Will on a mission with the look and left Chris Rock looking like Daffy Duck after he got his beak blown off. I don't know what the solution is. But I do know that this is what you can expect from engaging in unhealthy competition without a predetermined outcome. Seems like Chris Rock didn't do his homework and got his expectation management challenged. Go get my book too. I'm so like that's my way of trying to cut through the unhealthy, you know what I'm saying, like conversation that can be easily misconstrued. I don't like trying to talk through people. I just write what I have to say because that's what an author should do. You know what I'm saying? So I try to make people, if it's worth discussing, I try to make them come to the platform where I understand it too. So, because the goal is to have a conversation that puts you in a perspective of something that you've never experienced before. You know what I'm saying? And we got to make sure we're not taking anybody's authentic, opinions away and trying to recreate scenarios that we probably have never been in.
Boom.
Well said, sir. Well said. So, because I like playing devil's advocate, um, when we start talking about people's opinion, what about those people who have the opinion that if we silence the voice of those people who actually have an opinion, then what we're doing is we're reclusing in society. Case in point, on the other side of the fence, Chris Rock had an opinion based upon his joke. He got smacked for that opinion. So now, when we actually channel that narrative that says it's okay to slap a person for their opinion, we've actually regressed in time. What do we say to those people? Anybody?
I would say, like comment what your lips can handle. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna always run into a situation. You ain't gonna never live a life that's conflict free. You know what I'm saying? So why not take yourself off the unhealthy conflict playlist? Like it's plenty of stuff that you're gonna have to solve with just being diplomatic and like via email and not having to write something that you'd have to go back and it don't have the same replay value. You know what I mean? So like avoid the unnecessary conflicts, you know what I'm saying, as much as possible, because they're going to always be there. You know what I'm saying? Because again, in the words of Coach, conflict is communication too. You're going to learn something.
Absolutely.
You're going to learn something
Absolutely.
one way or another. Either you're going to learn, you're going to get to know your lawyers really well, or you're going to spend a lot of money somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So in this situation, I think Chris Rock said he wasn't going to press no charges.
Idiot.
And so that right
From
there, like you can argue so
from
many different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? So there's a level of accountability in there from Chris Rock.
So I like where you're going with the so and you know me, I'm a fan of, and I don't take this the wrong way. I'm a fan of confrontation, but I'm a fan of healthy confrontation. Healthy confrontation meaning that we can have a difference of opinion and we respect the fact that we have a difference of opinion and we come to a healthy resolution that does not involve a physical altercation. It does not involve belittling anybody. It does not involve anything that becomes derogatory in nature. And I think at the point, because we can say on one hand that Will Smith is human, but then on the other hand, we can say that Chris Rock is human. But Chris Rock humanity did not violate any laws. Will Smith's versions of humanity did. So Chris Rock chose the high road and not pressing any charges, right? But by that same token, when we go back to the humanity in both of these men and the decisions that they made, one to make a tasteless joke, one to actually put his hands on this young man for making a tasteless joke, I think we can say one is a version of unhealthy conflict to where with the tasteless joke, there could have been a discussion between two men to where we come to the understanding like, hey, bro, like case what, let me just put it like this. If I'm Will Smith and I'm sitting here, and first of all, Jada, you ain't gonna be sitting all over. You better get right here. Anyway, so if I'm Will Smith, right, you know what I'm saying? At a certain point, because let's just say he's going on and on. It was one joke though, but let's just say he's going on, and at a certain point, I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna give him. I think every brother knows what that means. Enough's enough. You know what I'm saying? At that point, if he continues to progress, now you and I need to have us a very serious conversation afterwards, right? I'm not going to destroy the show. I'm not going to destroy anything that's going on because let's be completely honest here. This young man achieved the highest award in his entire career, and no one afterwards. I mean, outside of the Grammys, right? I'm sure they did there, but no one afterwards said, "Congratulations, Will Smith, for your first Grammy." See, that's the
How could they when
ramification.
how could they when he made an ass out of himself? What he's gonna do?
Absolutely
How could he? How
right. I
could
don't
they? What are you gonna
disagree.
say? What are you gonna say to that?
Right.
Only
How,
thing,
how are
the
you gonna
only
say
thing I have to
congratulations?
say to what you said, Coach, is you just have to watch how you say things, and
Agreed. Absolutely.
and the thing is, you never know how another person will react, whether you think it's tasteless or unprofessional, Antoine. as a man, you know the words that's coming out your mouth, but you never know how the other person will
But as a
receive
man,
it.
I know the environment I'm walking into. It's
But
not the
you
first
never
time.
know how the next
I
man will
know where I'm
receive your words.
walking.
So
I
you have to
know.
be
No,
mindful
I'm
of
not going to
what
let that
you're
go.
saying.
You
You
know
can,
what you're walking into. You know the
look,
jokes
Chris
that are being
Rock got
said.
smacked. Look, Chris Rock got smacked. So
You
I'm
know
just saying.
what exactly by an
I
ass.
understand what you're saying, Coach, about it being tasteless. I mean, Antoine, whatever you want to call it, but you have to be careful how you put your words together.
Then don't go to
Right,
an
Coach.
environment.
Hey.
Don't go to an environment where you know these things are going to be said. Don't go. Keep
I
your
got a
ass at
question.
home.
What
It's not,
I keep hearing the word.
If you can't handle it because you're from the hood, keep your ass at home.
Huh?
Yeah.
I keep hearing.
Don't go.
I keep hearing the word tasteless float around. Like people keep,
My
a
gosh,
couple of
man.
people has mentioned that it was a tasteless joke. So tasteless,
Tasteless?
saying that the joke was tasteless, that's kind of like I feel like that's subjective, and who determines what's tasteless or not. And it just goes back to, maybe in certain environments, there are certain comedians, we can go back and they've said all kind of things. And
Worse
certain
than
people
that.
laugh and won't say that it's tasteless. And it may or may not be about a member of someone's family or relative or a wife. I don't know, but I keep hearing the word tasteless. So what like who determines if the joke is tasteless or not? What determines
And if he
if
was
the joke
really
is tasteless?
offended,
But see, that's
don't
the
laugh.
thing.
If it
So
really
that's
hurt
the
your
thing.
ego, don't laugh. Just don't laugh.
So that's the thing.
Really?
That's the thing I'm talking about right there. When we start talking about that subjectivity, if let's just say EJ, I'm gonna just use you for an example, bro. If EJ said that he didn't like the comment that I made, then at that point, that's when I respect his opinion. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have to escalate all the way to here because this is my job. This is what I do. I does this for a living, and I have done it my entire life. And so at this particular point in time, when you say, hey, or whatever, I got it. Now his subjectivity, like you say, Uncle Junior, is the line of demarcation for me. Okay, got it. My apologies. And here's the best part about it. As an adult, as a mature, because these are mature men. That's the thing that I'm looking at it from. These aren't just fresh in the game comedians. These are mature peers, like Vic said. So once EJ say, hey, okay, got it. Now I have a responsibility. I want to go talk to EJ at the end of the show and explain to that brother, I didn't mean an offense. And from that point on, if you accept my apology, if you don't mind, I would like for you to usher me to your wife so I can apologize to her face to face. I don't want you to relay a message for me because you didn't do the offense. I did. So I think based upon that subjectivity that Uncle Junior is talking about, I think that's the piece to where when you look at it, that's where another person's perspective of tasteless becomes now my understanding of the limit of advance that I can go with that person. And if we as mature adults can understand that, you don't never have to venture into the other stuff. It's just my thoughts.
Look, I might be the oddball or whatever you guys want to say, but I believe in the boxing ring. I believe in a boxing ring too, man. Like if you guys don't disagree, let's thump it out. I'm Call me wrong, say whatever you want to say. I believe in it. Sometimes if you want to get it off your chest. I'm not gonna. It's plenty of people that fought friends and came back, and you guys are still friends. Whatever you want to say. You had a disagreement, you duked it out, and then boom, boom, shake hands. You move on. You move forward. Maybe I'm a little old school in that way, but sometimes I feel like you got to get it off your chest.
But there's a time and place.
Boxing ring. I said it.
Right. So don't say that, but this was not the time or the place.
But you're not understanding my word.
It's where sometimes
you have to be careful. No, it doesn't matter.
Sometimes when
it doesn't matter. If some
careful.
people is on site, you say certain things, and I'm just telling you with certain people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
You
with
have
me.
no
I'm not saying with
self-control.
anybody.
None.
See,
No self-control.
I'm not saying with anybody on this panel. I'm just saying with certain people that's walking this planet Earth. You can't say certain things to them. You put your words together the wrong way.
If you're that
be ready to put your hands up.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying, Antoine.
Exactly. But if you're that sensitive, stay home. Stay home. If you're that sensitive, stay home. If you know you can't control where you came from, stay home.
Not going back and forth with you. I made my point. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's certain people you just can't say certain things to. It's a line. It's a line to be drawn with certain people that you interact with in life. You go about life however you want, Antoine. I'm just saying how it is.
As long as you know exactly. So as long as you know, with an attitude like that, there's consequences. You get shot. Hey, you know what? I reacted the way I react.
It's that boxing ring. I don't believe in shooting. But I do believe in throwing hands.
I react the way I know how to react. You know, sometimes you don't open your mouth with the guy that has the gun. You shut the fuck up.
Of course. But I'm saying
you can't sometimes. You can't control that. Sometimes you can't control that, so you gotta react, and I gotta react too.
Let me chime in real quick. Let me speak from a place of experience. So I was, you know, at some point in my life, I would have been on EJ's side 100%. You know what I mean? But when I was younger, when I was in the Army, I took that approach of to fight and to react, good, bad, or indifferent. I did that, and as I mentioned on a previous episode, I went through the ranks a couple of times, you know, before I eventually learned my lesson. And due to that, that has calmed me down and that has changed my perspective about certain things because I've gotten in trouble a lot. I've lost money behind it. I've lost rank. I've had a whole bunch of negative things to happen to me while I was in the military because I chose to choose violence versus turning the other cheek. Now that I'm older, I think differently about it. You know, I thought that I just personally just being direct about it, I thought that Will should have handled it a different way. That's just my personal opinion. I personally do not think that the joke was tasteless unless he actually knew that he unless he actually knew that his wife had some sort of illness or something like that. I was taught at a very young age from my parents to not talk about people's disabilities and things that they cannot control. You know what I mean? So I felt like if Chris Rock knew that, then he was absolutely tasteless. But I thought that as a professional and as him doing my job, you know, Black women in our community shave their head all the time, and it's not uncommon to see Black women with shaved head, and sometimes good, bad, or different be the butt of a joke. Um, I don't think that Chris Rock intent. I don't think he was malicious. I think intent has to play some part in there, at least for me, in my opinion about it. But like I said, based off how you know, a lot of the trouble that I've been in, my opinion about it is different now than it would have been 15, 20 years ago. That's my thoughts.
So, I guess you guys have hit like everything on it. You know, I understand EJ's take for sure. I'm all about how it goes down. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the warrior, the fighter in me. You know what I'm saying? Like just like Unc has a different take. You know what I'm saying? On based on his experience, I get it. Go ahead.
One more thing. I also agree with the fact that if you push somebody or you say something that offends somebody, you don't get to choose how they respond to that as well.
Exactly.
So it's not up to me to decide. That's just my personal opinion about how I would have handled it as a man now versus in my 20s and 30s. But like I said, it's not for me to decide or to judge how someone is supposed to respond to something if they are offended. Good, bad, or indifferent, people are going to respond how they respond. I think that there is a one way to do it, and I think that there is another way to do it.
Yep.
All things are true. Both could be right.
And then the thing is this right here. When you
But if I was a millionaire, I would have smacked them back, guaranteed.
Yeah. Hey, like
I could afford it. I could afford it.
I'm not even gonna respond to that.
Yeah. Like, yo, the way it goes
I don't know
down,
what I would have did.
Hey, look, it's everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth.
You know, and I'll say this.
Where's my button? Where's that button?
Where's
the button?
So true.
Hey, look, everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. I think what everybody else is talking about is not necessarily surface, but it's the same conversation because it's relative to a personal opinion and what they would have done in that situation. I like to look at what could have transpired that, like, what triggered that. It wasn't just a joke. It's years. It's not just what's going on in Will's house. It's not just what's going on in Chris Rock's house. It's a lot of hands that led over. You know what I'm saying? That contributed to that particular situation. Because I saw when Will was laughing, but then I also saw when Jada gave him that eye and said, "Hey, you know, hey, look, they rode together." You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing. Jada's probably told Will, "I don't fuck with Chris Rock in no way, shape, or form." So, like, and you can't make me believe that nobody knew that Will wasn't getting the Oscar. You can't make me believe that they didn't know who was in the room. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and I've seen some people say, "I think it was staged." I think it kind of looks kind of staged. You know what I'm saying? And they ran off the whatever energy was there. I'm not even being a conspiracy theorist because, like, at this point, we can't even justify why it happened. You know what I'm saying? We can sit up and look at it as a joke on the surface of it, but you and I, all of us know that there's certain people that can't say something to you. And there's some people that can't, everybody can, you know, they say don't kill the messenger. Well, they killed the messenger on 300, didn't it? Because he wasn't qualified to come into Leonidas' house talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And what did Queen Gorgo do? You know what I'm saying? And Leonidas was like, "Hey, man, it's got to be what it is," you know? So, and it's different because the men that have opinions in situations like this, they either haven't been, you know, like in a committed relationship with a woman that they had children with. And it's a different type of connection, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to it. It's a different type of control, different type of power. Like, I've been around where people don't tell the husband what's going on because they know that the husband gonna lose his shit. Because Jada could have very well said, "Hey, not here, Will." She had the presence of mind to look at him and send Will on a dummy mission. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want, like, I'm looking at the fact that it's two men going at it with each other. Well, one definitely going at it and one coming to it. And Jada had the most influence to make that thing actually take place. You know what I'm saying? So in the protection aspect of it, I look at it just like if she anticipated Will going over there to go do something to Chris Rock with prior information, you know what I'm saying? Like it being known, she probably been in the house like, "Hey, I don't fuck with Chris Rock." You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know.
So I'm gonna stay home tonight.
I mean, in your reality, I'm talking about the one right now that we can
I'm sensitive and shit.
discussion about. So what I'm saying is that
Utopia.
If you talking about
utopia. I'm sensitive and shit with my bald head. I'm going to stay home tonight.
And here's the thing too. It's not about the bald head joke. It's really not about that. Everybody else is making the joke. That was just too personal. That whole situation was so personal.
You can't say that, Antoine. That's not from your perspective. It's subjective,
and all things are true.
Because I'll tell you what, if Jada would have reacted, I'll tell you this.
You're contradicting yourself right now.
I'll tell you this. If Jada would have reacted, I would have been cool with it. I would have said, "You know what? Jada got offended." But I'm the man and I'm laughing.
So you didn't like the flavor. You didn't like the flavor of the response.
No. Don't tell me what I liked and what I'm.
No, I'm asking. You've been telling everybody else what they like. I'm listening to you.
That's how you took it. That's how you do it. If Jada would have reacted, I would have been cool with it. I would have said,
let's say this.
If Jada would have reacted, I would have been cool. I would have been said, "You know what? Oosh, she going at it. She don't like it." But I'm the man, and I laughed. And I wasn't insulted. I wasn't insulted. I wasn't insulted because I laughed.
It might have been a delayed process. I mean, he was laughing before.
I wasn't insulted. I laughed.
He probably didn't understand.
Oh, stop making excuses.
And then when he brought
the video is clear.
Let him talk.
The video is clear. I laughed. I found it funny. Ha ha ha! I found it funny. I would turn to my wife and see her reaction and say, "You know what, baby? I'm sorry I laughed. That was my bad. But you know what? I'll deal with him later. I'm sorry it offended you."
Hey, I tell you right now.
But you know what? Nah. It's where I'm from. Let me get up there and do my thing. Pull my pants up and try to defend my
He's not
manhood.
thinking about where he's from at that moment. That has
You
nothing.
said sometimes and some people where they're
That is
from,
the most
they
Fox
react.
News assessment that I've ever heard. Like that's like Tucker Carlson playing meat puppet with you right now, bro.
Come on,
like I'm telling you right now, in that situation, it's just one of them situations, man. You just can't predict nobody's outcome, and you don't get to control that.
You know what?
And it's the thing. Like when we was in the army, you know what we used to say? Do what your collar can handle, right? That's what Will got up there and did.
Nah.
In the statement, it speaks towards like, can he afford the consequences of his action, whether he thought about them or not? I'm pretty sure he got the money to deal with it. He got the clout to deal with it. It doesn't matter what nobody else said. He was doing what he thought was in the best interest of protecting his wife. And that's the thing. And you won't ever have that perspective until you get married.
That's right, because that's what we're known for, violence. Let's go up there and
stop tagging him and everybody else. Like,
yes, let me go up there and represent.
Will Smith don't represent nobody up here.
Let me go up there and represent. I gotta react the way they want me to react.
I don't want to be an actor.
That's right. I gotta react the way they want me to react.
Antoine, what I have to say, because you keep talking about Will laughing, and then sometimes, let's just be honest, sometimes you might hear somebody say something, but it takes a while, like a second to process. He probably was laughing and then like, oh, but the camera shifted.
So good at making up excuses, boy.
He shifted. I'm just saying. Like, and he looked at his wife. We all agree with that she didn't like it, right? And then when he looked over, he did what he had to do, what he thought he had to do. Let's just say that from his perspective. But it could have been a delayed process, dude. I mean, we can't speak for him. We can only critique and analyze his actions and his behaviors. That's it.
It never changes, boy. It never changes, man. It's amazing.
But Will does not represent everybody.
He represents the community, whether you like it or not. Rather you like it or not.
From your perspective.
It's whether you like it or not.
Not mine. So he represents the community when he wins the Oscar. And
he represents.
I never said that. I didn't even know he won the Oscar. I just know.
I got a clarification.
He represents everything when he does good, but when he does bad, it's an individual person. I get it.
I never said that.
I have a clarifying question for Antoine. What do you mean by he represents the community? Like who are the people who represent what?
The black community?
No. I'm asking who are those people who represent? Like you said, Will Smith. So like, does Tyler Perry represent the black community?
Yeah.
Like, who are those people that represent the black community?
When you're on a platform like that, you're representing the community. You're showing the culture. You're standing up to. You are showing the culture. Why do you think we get mad when there's not enough black people in the Oscars?
No, I'm asking for more. I'm asking for more clarification. I'm trying to figure out not just Will Smith, but who are the people that you consider.
Ben Carson represents community. When you're on a platform, an elite platform, you're representing what's behind you.
So anybody that's on an elite platform is a representation of
we didn't pick them. What are you talking about? We didn't pick them. I'm not letting you do that.
Who determines?
We didn't pick them. I'm not letting you do that.
You have a responsibility.
And lastly,
you have a responsibility.
I have another clarifying question. Who determines who represents the community?
In a collective group, when they win, we give them all the glory. When they do bad, it's the individual.
I'm asking who determines who represents our community?
I would say who determines who represents our community. I would say as a collective group, when somebody shines in a certain way, the society decides that.
It's given to us. I'm not gonna let him do that. I'm sorry. You
don't have to let me do anything.
It's given to us, and I'm not gonna. All these celebrities and athletes, it's given to us. We don't choose, so we don't choose.
What do you mean we don't choose? What do you mean we don't choose? We don't choose.
We don't choose. You chose Will Smith to be up there like that.
Then you know what? Let me tell you something,
bro. Come on.
Then don't play. Then don't play. Then don't play. Then don't play.
No, I'm still trying to figure out who determines who represents our community.
Society.
And who in society, like specifically.
Everybody collectively.
Bro, I represent my dad and the Joker.
It has to be a line.
That's an individual. That's an individual.
Yeah, well,
Next.
that's all I know is my family. Nobody else represent me, bro.
I don't care. You can say whatever you want. Collectively, people look at you and go, "You're part of that community, whether you like it or not."
Nah, bro.
Yeah, but I'm still not like I can't keep going past the conversation.
Okay.
I won't be able to follow along if I don't understand exactly who gets to determine who represents a community.
Culturally, society determines that, right?
Who specifically who in society? Because everybody in the world is the society.
Everybody generally in the world decides. Wherever you are, wherever your group is, that's who decides.
So who did you vote? Who did you vote for?
For what?
To lead out to be a representation of our community.
I honestly, I look to the people that are ahead, the people that represent. Just like Obama represented the president of the United States. We loved him, Obama, as a black president. Everybody sang kumbaya to it. We did. We all jumped on board, right? So collectively, we chose him as our savior. And don't say we didn't. We did. Don't say we didn't. Don't look at me. We did. We were happy when he got elected. We were like, yes, the first black African American president. We did. Don't say we didn't. Don't regress and say we didn't. We did. Oprah was very happy at the moment.
Can somebody
speaking for yourself, bro?
Wait. You don't wait a minute. Are you saying to me right now that black people in a collectively wasn't happy when we saw the first black president? Is that what you're saying?
You're speaking for yourself.
Wait a minute. I didn't ask you that though. That wasn't my question.
You can't speak
that
for
wasn't my question.
I'm responding to your question.
What?
You can't speak for everybody.
Okay, I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm asking you a question. No, I'm asking you a question. Are you telling me collectively the African American race wasn't happy when the first black president got elected?
Quote unquote, until they figured out nothing changed.
Oh, so we were happy in the beginning, right? But then he didn't do enough, right?
It's not about doing enough.
Hold on, I'm sorry. That I can't let you do. I'm sorry. You cannot say he didn't change because you need to understand the context of everything that was going on.
He said that, not me.
He did not have the house to make the changes that he wanted.
He said that, not
I don't play that game though. That political stuff. Uncle Joe, I don't play that game. I don't care about presidents, all of that stuff because it's a game. So regardless of whether they put Obama, Trump, whatever, for me personally. So that's why I say, Antoine, you can't speak for everybody else. I don't care about that stuff.
You're one person. You're one person. I'm speaking generally.
Yeah, but there's other people out there like me.
But the few does not the one does not outweigh the many. Sorry to tell you. The one does not outweigh the many.
Go ahead, Coach.
The one does not outweigh the many. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, man. We can't just toss, Barack Obama in this and say that, whatever.
Coach, when that happened, when Obama didn't do enough.
I don't care. It's not Obama. I don't play that political game.
Of course not.
I got that part. I got that part.
Of course not.
Right. Only thing I'm saying is we can't mix him up into this conversation because they're two totally different ends of the spectrum, right? He ain't never slapped nobody in public, right? So this is just like two opposite ends of the conversation here. But to caveat, I mean, I would be honest with you, man. I'm seeing both sides of the conversation. I'm just being completely transparent. Like, I agree with you. I don't tie myself to Will Smith or Denzel Washington, any of those guys. I'm appreciative of their accomplishments. I'm proud of what they've done and all that great stuff. But then by that same token, I also understand what Antoine is saying, because in retrospect, what you'll find collectively as a community, what we'll do is, based upon another person's accomplishments, if they do bad, then it's like, no, we didn't claim that. We don't want to do with that one. But if they're like crazy, I was just having this conversation like 2 nights ago. Like, for me, when it comes down to actors, right? Don't get me wrong. I love Will Smith movies. I think he's a great actor. But Denzel Washington, for an actor, can't do no wrong in my eyes. Why? Because he has found a way to separate the profession from his family. Most people don't even know what Denzel Washington's wife looked like. So for me, I have a great deal of respect for that man because of that. Because of that. And then on top of that, he is a great spokesperson for our youth. For me, that's like the deciding factor to Uncle Junior's question, right? I believe as mature men and women, we get to a certain level and then we give back to the community. The difficulty about all of this, it's very hard for me to say that I am now a voice to those young men and women that I'm trying to help, uplift and help them understand this, that, and the third, when I am doing the very same thing that we're telling them not to do now. So that's the only piece that I'm looking at from that perspective. And that kind of goes back to what Uncle Junior question was. Again, I'm seeing both sides of the conversation. Neither one of you guys are wrong. But by that same token, once we get to a certain level, it has to be something where we turn around and give back. And I know every man on this platform understands what I'm talking about, because EJ, you do it, Uncle Junior, you do it, Vic, you do it. So we all understand that language. So it's not that these people were voted by the, I'm gonna go back to the Dave Chappelle joke, the black delegate no votes. No. You know what I'm saying? But go back to when Tiger Woods got in trouble. Remember the running joke? I can't remember who said it. Well, at that particular point in time, Tiger Woods understood that he was you know what I'm saying? Everybody remember that joke. But that's why that joke was made. Because when they do good, a lot of us, not us, right? But a lot of us, we claim them. When they do bad, like, nope, we don't want that one. That we didn't like that one. I think that's what Antoine is saying.
Yep.
And
That's exactly what I was saying.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing both ends of it. For us, no, we're not claiming either one of them. We appreciate and we're proud of their accomplishments, and we recognize that they're entertainers. And for me, when I look at what they're doing for the community and giving back, that's the thing that catches my attention, because that's my ultimate goal, is to give back to the community. That's all I'm working on right now. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at that, it's hard for me to say, like, young man and young woman, you were destined for greatness. You can't do this. You can't do that. When you walk around putting your hand on people, man, that's just it.
I just for me personally, man, it's social. It's social programming, dude. Like,
oh, Lord,
all of this. No, it is.
Here comes the victimhood mentality.
Like,
let's get it out.
Dude, I was a sociologist, dude. What are you talking about, bro? Listen, dude, that's a social construct. Like, they give us these people and they show us their lives. You know what I mean? And then this is all you have to look up to. That's what the kids, that's all they have to look up to. This is a social programming. And I'm tired of being just like tied to, just like what you're saying, Antoine, or the black community, because Will Smith did this, or Chris Rock said this. Man, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Excuse my language. It ain't got nothing to do with me. And nothing to do with how I was brought up, how my dad raised me, and how we were raised in the Haitian community. And I'm not trying to separate myself, but I have nothing to do with Hollywood and these other things that they create and these other entities that they give to us. I'm sorry, you guys can do it. I'm not connecting myself with that because I know nothing about them and what they do.
Right. And listen, and be clear. I'm not saying that I look up to them, but I'm saying they have a voice.
Yes, you are. You just said that not too long ago. You can rewind it, and I look up the guys. I look up.
Let me rewind it for you. Okay, when I look up to them, listen to me. When I look up to them, it's because I put them at a higher pedestal than anybody else.
Why? They are mad just like you.
Because they made it.
You crazy.
That person.
So you didn't make it. So your perspective on your life is you didn't make it, right? So you ain't nothing. You look in the mirror and you ain't. You look in the mirror and you're nothing to
that guy was talented.
So you have to be where Will Smith is to make it. Is that what you're saying? You have to be where Will Smith is to make it.
He was talented enough to make it.
So you are nothing to yourself, basically.
No, I'm nothing. Nothing yet. I'm slowly.
I ain't looking up to no other man. I respect all of y'all, but no, my dad is the only man I look up to. That's it.
It's not about you. It's not about you, bro. It's not about you.
You got to be kidding me.
It's not about you.
He's a whole nother man and put on his pants just like you.
Whether you like it or not.
I respect another man. Like, I respect mentorship. I get it. You have information. We exchange information. I respect that. But I don't care what society tells you. No man is stronger than the other. I'm sorry. We're just the same. We're all just alike. You got to be kidding me.
Conditioning
crap. I don't work that way. Listen, I was like, okay, I don't function that way. No, but the minute you said that, I don't think that way. I'm sorry. The minute you said exactly. Dude, bro, you got to be kidding me. I'm a leader of my own. I'm not looking for another man to lead me. Dude, you got to be kidding me.
The minute you said that social conditioning bullshit, I knew where you going with it. I get that. A lot of people have that social conditioning bullshit. And, slavery did this and all that other asinine crap. Kumbaya and all that. I get that. I mean, I don't fall for that shit. That doesn't control me. But when you're at a certain status.
The irony.
when you're at a certain status, you're looked upon, and your voice, and you have a voice.
Society gave it to us.
And you have responsibility. You have
Society gave them to us. I'm sorry. I didn't choose them.
Can I jump in? Hey, look. So
you can say whatever you want.
So Antoine brought up the conversation about society, right? When he was talking about,
I was asked the question.
No, I'm not asking you anything right now. Antoine brought up the topic when he said something about society, right? And then EJ just brought up societal programming. So, like, which one is right now? You know what I'm saying? Because earlier, when you brought up society being part of like the collective of people and voting for whatever, right? And then EJ spoke to you in the same vein based on society and it being programmed, and then you called it bullshit. So, which one is it?
Listen to me. When I said society, I meant people. Society, people. That's all I meant. Society is people, right? And if you become famous, society put you there because they went to your movies.
Social construct.
Oh, but enough with the victimhood mentality. Let me finish, will you?
It is a social construct.
That's your mentality, dude. You have that.
Who determines who's famous? This is why Junior was asking earlier about who.
You want to know who determines who's society? You pay to see the movie. Your society makes you famous when you go see movies, when you do certain things, when you become the elite. Society puts you there.
Elite. Who says they're elite?
When you're a Michael Jordan, a Muhammad Ali, you're the elite.
What's Antoine's criteria for elite?
Holy kablongers. I don't understand why you guys don't think they're above the human. They're above normal men. They're not like you and me. They're not. They have a voice. They're not like you and me. What they touch turns to gold. Whatever
they don't pass laws, man. They don't affect nobody's quality of life.
Again, they're influential. My goodness, man.
They don't change anybody's quality of life.
Listen to me. It's like Elon Musk made one little comment about a Bitcoin and everybody went to buy it because they have influence.
So
that's all I'm saying. They have influence. So there's a responsibility there.
Elon can smack somebody up right now and I go buy his stock.
Listen, that's not the point.
No, I'm just saying. No, seriously,
it's gonna go up.
Yeah, because it's gonna go up, right? So is it okay?
5 on it.
You see what I'm saying? Like you gotta be careful when you throw these different promotions around, like from faceless institutions that don't even like society.
I don't understand why you guys don't understand.
You don't understand why you don't understand reality.
No, because reality. That's why. But you don't understand that people that are at that level have an influence on the younger kids and like the Cardi B.
You don't know anything about being at that level, so you can't speak on that.
What? It's not about who. Listen. They have influence.
Tell me something that you do in your elite days and how you interact with me.
Listen to me. My art, when I visit schools, when I draw and people see my art, I influence those next kids coming up. They go, I want to be like that. I want to draw like you. I'm influencing them. When they see Michael Jordan play basketball, when they see Michael Jackson sing, when they see the Cardi B's of the world, they're influencing the kids. It's just the way it is because that's all they see.
But
so they don't see the big
programming, bro. All right, can I say something? Can I say something? Okay, Antoine, if it's a kid that grew up in the bush, would he know who Cardi B is?
He wouldn't even know what a car or sugar is.
This is what we mean by social construct and social programming. This is given to us. And the way we live in society with television and social media, this is the only reason these kids know about it. If every single parent turned off the TV and took the phone away from the kids and did not let them get on social media, these people would not have any influence on them. What are you talking about, Antoine?
Because we're past that. Oh my God, dude, get to modern times.
You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it.
You don't get it. You are so stuck back there. You don't get it. You just don't get it. You guys just don't get it. You think these people that are at that level, they're at another level. Whether you like it, Denzel Washington, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they're on another level. And they're influential.
Rather is a comparison. You know what I'm saying? So whether, you know what I'm saying? WHETHER.
You guys are having two different conversations.
My goodness, boy.
I don't know if you guys
Antoine's always having a different conversation.
The level of ignorance you have, Vic, is unbelievable. Your ignorance is on a level. You guys' ignorance is on a level that I'm just not used to.
Why can't we just disagree? Why does it have to be?
Because he up here acting like Will Smith did with Chris Rock.
I mean,
you gotta
You don't have to agree to everything. That doesn't mean another man is ignorant.
But EJ, we don't have to. Rich, coach, we don't have to agree. But can we agree that the Jordans, the Michael Jacksons, the Cardi B, can we agree that they're influential?
We know they have influence.
Can we agree? Can we agree? Or yes or no?
I just said they are. Antoine, listen. We know they are influential. I said that, but you didn't hear what I said. You take away the social media, you take away the television, you take away all of that. They have no power. What are you talking about? They don't exist. This is a social programming.
You think they're gonna take it away?
I'm making a point. Never mind. I'm making a point. You don't get it.
Dude,
you can't wrap your head around the point that I'm making. That these people only exist because of the world that we live in and the way society is constructed.
It's called evolution. It's called evolution. Get over it.
In the way evolution is going, you know, like you got to be able to adapt. And I don't know if everybody has the same, I guess, coping skills, the same version of reality. And if you talk long enough, you'll find out how big of a hypocrite that you really are. You know what I'm saying? That's for anybody, you know. And some of us, it comes back to us quicker than others. So I'm pretty sure that Will didn't wake up that day with the intent to slap somebody's lips off. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Jada didn't feel like she was going to send him on a dummy mission. You know what I'm saying? But conflicts are inevitable. Bad news is inevitable. It's how you respond to it. You know what I'm saying? When it happens. Did he kill anybody? Nope. There's plenty of other people out there that deserve way more. You know what I'm saying? Way more smoke than what this topic is actually getting. Because the minute that we got to get into a space where you're trying to create another reality to make them more important than what they actually are and make other people digest that, then that's when you create something that's in utopia. You know what I'm saying? You're manufacturing a Frankenstein argument to make somebody accept your point of view. You know what I'm saying? And that's not fair because everybody didn't grow up the same way. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of the first episodes I said, hey, man, we different types of black. And you argue me down. And then all you're doing right now is proving the point. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to agree. It's true in my world. Because you know what I'm saying? And it's on video. But anyway, all I'm saying is that you have your version of your reality that you was raised underneath. And that's not how the rest of the world works. Period.
Egocentric thinking is the focus of every conflict.
It's amazing. Whew. It's amazing. It's the level of ignorance is amazing. Like I'm like wow. I totally you know what? All this whatever.
I said, why does it have to be ignorant, Antoine? Why can't it just be a difference of opinion, bro?
Different of opinion. There you go.
I'm asking you a question.
No, I'm just gonna agree to disagree. There you go. It's just unbelievable. Like,
okay,
if it's unbelievable that nobody else accepts your version of reality,
it's just
that's delusional.
What?
You're upset that nobody wants to accept your version of reality.
You can't just say people's ignorant.
You just can't call people ignorant. You sit up here with a published article about very well accomplished men, and you called us ignorant.
I said, anyways. I didn't call it.
Like you being the Chris Rock right now. Right now, you getting smacked around, and you don't like it. You don't like our responses. Just like we didn't like yours, but see, conflict is inevitable. You can't do nothing about it. You got to be able to have a certain level of experience to stand behind the words that you say. You don't have it. You never led anything. You paint. You ain't no elite categories for nobody, man. You don't know what these people think. That's reality.
you're like I said, it's amazing how you put words in people's mouths. It's amazing how you make claims on people that
I'm using the same mode of communication that you're using.
But that's all you do.
You need to listen
That's
to
all
yourself
you
when you play this stuff back.
You need to listen to
you
yourself
in your
because
language.
you think you're so right that you don't even have like if you're
This
in your
is
bubble.
beautiful. Keep going.
It's like your bubble. It's like a bubble for you.
You're right. It's a huge bubble, Antoine.
Yeah. And it's amazing how you just put words in people's mouths.
No, you don't have the life experience to stand behind the opinions that you have, but I'm here to listen to
you do it.
Your bubble has watercolors in it.
You can't win with that. It's just I don't put words in people's mouth, but I don't say what people have done and not done just like that. I just
you don't do that. You form
that.
to try to make people
do that.
No, you try to form different utopian realities to make people evil. That's what you do every time. And right now you're being called out on it. You're getting the Chris Rock treatment right now. See, now you're understanding it. See, when you decided to call somebody ignorant, I didn't say ignorance. I said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're talking about how it was heard. Yeah. Just like you've been talking about how you've
how it was heard. Okay, so I didn't say it.
What I'm saying is this right now. The minute that you talk about somebody being ignorant on a panel that's about elevated dialogue, you have negated everything that you wanted to say and communicate. And that's why, like, you're talking about something where you're so right. You've been trying to be right the entire time. Like the only word that you can capitalize on is ignorance, and you still can't even expand on that because you don't have a nice experience or a real world experience to interact with that. You've never led anything. You never dealt with more personalities than the ones that you create.
Real world experience,
and that's reality.
Real world experience, according to Vic.
You are delusional.
I know, because Vic says so. Okay, that Vic said so.
You didn't even know who Houdini was.
So
let the church say amen.
So what?
Always wanted to say that on the mic.
Like, really? I didn't know Houdini was. For what?
Antoine only appropriates blackness when he can benefit from it.
See, there you go. There you go again. I'm glad you said that.
You see how easy that was to trigger him. See, now he can't control his response because he's hurt. It's just a joke, Antoine. You shouldn't respond to jokes like that.
Dude, don't. You know what? That's so patient.
Tuck your neck things back in. You're so upset at a joke right now.
I love the way you
got him.
I love the way you try to flip that. It's amazing, man. I love the way you try to flip that. That's
amazing hypocrisy,
dude. Let me tell you.
I told you it was coming back way faster than you thought it was.
It's just, it just, like I said, it just proves it, man. You just
proves what?
It just proves.
I don't understand that. You proved it again. Like, it's so ironic that we're having this discussion. It's so ironic the way it's going because we're talking about conflict being communication. Now, I guess maybe now you can hear me because I always talked about how you look when you're gonna respond when you say something. You know what I'm saying? Not you in particular, but just people in general. You can't go into a lion's den and then be mad when the lion decides to be a lion.
I don't get mad. I never get mad like that. It takes a lot to trigger me. I don't get mad, especially when I know where I come from and who I am. I don't get mad. You'll know when I get mad, but I don't get mad. That's why I don't get mad. That's why I went to where I went to school. I don't get mad. Oh no, I can't. But when I do, you'll know. But this is not a platform
right now, bro.
This is not a platform that can get me mad. This is a discussion. And even if it gets elevated dialogue, even if people go, today you raise your voice or you get passionate about something, you're a simp, you're weak-minded, you're this, you're that. Meanwhile, a person just can't be passionate about it.
You called us ignorant.
I said the level of ignorance. I mean, how do you not hear that? I said it so many times.
No, I just made that reality up. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's all. You got to understand what people hear.
Oh, so you think the level of ignorance means you?
No, I'm not ignorant.
Okay. So then I didn't call you an ignorant, right?
No, I'm talking about the panel.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure of that. That's all I wanted to make sure.
Oh, I don't respond to what people call me by name. So,
but I didn't call you. That's what you just said it, though.
There has to be a certain level of respect for somebody before I be offended by them. That's all I'm saying.
I never said that. Like I said, the level of ignorance. If you take it personally, that's on you. But that's on you. I can't control that.
But even if you're saying the level of ignorance,
same thing.
If we disagree, we just disagree. It doesn't have to be a level of ignorance just to have a different perspective.
That's ironically what it is.
All it is a different perspective. We see life in a different way. That's it. And you, just like what he said, my experience is my experience, your experience is your experience, Vic's experience is his, Coach is his, Garfield is his. You know what I mean? So you can't just, okay, because we don't agree, oh, the level of ignorance. No, we just see things differently. That's all.
I'm not gonna explain it again.
Your Lord and Savior.
Come on
Here
in,
come
Coach.
Antoine's
Come on,
Lord and
Coach.
Savior.
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna
Save him, Coach.
I don't need no saving.
I don't think Coach can save him right here now.
Coach, I'm telling you,
I don't think Coach
Coach.
can save him. I don't think Coach can
I don't
save him
want
here,
no
bro.
saving. I don't want no saving. Don't jump in this one. I stand by what I said.
I'm picking Antoine.
I stand by what I said. Don't jump in saving me. I stand by what I said. I will always stand by what I said.
So I agree with the whole differences of opinion. I think I think the concept, if we stay stuck in the concept of differences of opinion, I don't think we're doing ourselves any justice. I think recognizing that we have a difference of opinion and then hearing each other opinions so we can come to a higher version, whether it's, I relinquish my opinion or we accept a portion of each other's opinion so we can move to a higher place of understanding. I think that's really what it's all about. But just being stuck at a difference of opinion doesn't move us to a higher place of existence. We are all, again, I got to keep saying this, right, because it's true. We are all interconnected in some shape, form, or fashion, whether we want to believe it or not. You are the culmination of your experiences, your environment, your upbringing, the people that you've encountered. I don't care what you believe, something that took place in your life today has continued to shape and mold you into the person you are right now on this panel. So when we have a difference of opinion, it's not that we should have a different opinion. So the fact that we stay, believe it or not, this conversation, regardless of how heated it may appear to be, right, or how passionate some of us are, this conversation is elevating someone on this panel or everyone on this panel. That's what we have to come to the understanding. So I think understanding that differences of opinion is healthy. That's number one. Being able to hear what different opinions sound like and understand it from another person's perspective is where that health exists, right? The fact that they're different is trying to promote health. Understanding that they are different and accepting another person's opinion, not saying that they're right or wrong, just accepting it is where the health exists. And then when we can compare our opinions so that we can come to a higher form of existence, that's when we elevate, that's when we grow, and that's when we become good and healthy, cohesive teams together. I'm telling you, I've helped several companies with this understanding. We don't shut down another person's opinion, right? And I don't mean to take this back to the beginning of the conversation, but we don't shut down another person's opinion, right? We let it come forth, and then we have a conversation about it so that we can share our perspectives and then grow from that conversation. So that's just my opinion. Antoine didn't need saving. That brother stand on his morals.
Thank you, sir.
But at the end but at the end of the day, you need to hear what they're saying. You need to hear what they're saying because they're saying some stuff that we all need to hear.
At the end of the day, Coach, I'm just tired of the same old reaction. That's all. It's the same old reaction.
Yeah, I don't think, but this is a different panel, bro. I don't think it's the same reaction.
No, not this. I'm just at the end of the day, for me, I'm just tired of the same old reaction coming out. What happened with the Will and Jay? Just tired of it. Just tired of seeing it. That's all. Just tired of seeing it. Just want to see something different. That's all. I expect different. And when people are that level, I expect a certain conduct and a certain professionalism. That's me.
I just think that's just like I mentioned before, it's a brainwash. I know we watch it because this is what's given to us, but it's not necessarily reality. It's not necessarily our reality. It's not what we live every day. And this is what I mean, Antoine. It's not real to us. They give it to us to talk about, but this is not the world we live in. We don't know who Will Smith and Jada Pinkett is. They show us on TV. We don't know. We don't interact with them every day. And this is what I mean. Real life is when you walk out your door and what you're doing right now. Watching TV and watching them on television, that's not real, bro. I don't know how much you understand that. So I'm not giving somebody a level over me and say, oh, I look this, that. Yeah, maybe when I was a kid, I subscribed to that. But as a grown man, no way, bro.
You ain't even the same person at work that you are at home.
But for me, it's
so
just
they're not even the same people every day.
No, and I agree with that. But it's just that, you know what? I'm sorry that the community is looked upon in a light like that. That's all.
No, nobody's blaming the black community for
Nobody's
you the first person I heard say that.
Dude.
You're the first person.
Like I said, let's
put a link in the chat and show me where you read
that. When they do well,
when
they do well, it's the community. When they don't do well, it's the individual.
I just want to see a source where black people are being shamed for Chris Rock and Will Smith. I hadn't seen it yet. You're the first person I heard it.
But then again, you say you don't.
You show me where that's from, and I will take that in.
Rick, you already said.
But it doesn't. I want to see what you got. I want to see the information that you have.
Rick, look for yourself. You don't need me. You already said you don't go look and do things like that. You already say that.
That's why I'm asking you.
No, but I want
wherever that statement came from and where that collective society that says black people have been set back because of Chris Rock and Will Smith, show me the article or whatever source of information.
If you really want to know,
I'm asking you for the same. Like when I tell you to go read the code, when I say go read the code, I got a book. You see what I'm saying? Like I can hand you a book and say, go check this out and buy my book, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So like I can hand you this, but like wherever you getting your information from, I want to just see the source of it. That's it.
Turn on social media. I'll tell you, turn on
social media all the time. I don't see that.
You don't look. You don't even go on other people's faces. You say, what are you talking about?
I got enough people in my time like where I get information from everywhere, and nobody's saying that. It's just you. That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking. A simple question. I'd like to see the information that you have that made you come up with the assessment that black people got set back by Chris Rock and Will Smith. Because I have a hard time trying to understand how the man that played Ali
go and see what they're saying online.
I have a hard time. With the man that played
don't take my word. I'm telling you,
Venus's dad set us back. That's why I have a hard time understanding.
Don't take my word for it. Go online and look for yourself. You're capable of doing it.
No, show me what you look. Show me what you looked at.
If you really want to know, go. If you really want to know, go. Just like I would. If you told me something, I'd go look for myself.
I'm going to show you where I started.
Just tell me anything.
I'm going to give you a start point, at least a Wikipedia page or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you at least where I read and say, "Hey, look, can you look at this and see if this makes sense?" In professional settings, they have peer-reviewed work. So when anybody makes a statement that speaks for everybody, that's like this man went to school and he's a sociologist. He studied this stuff. They got peer-reviewed studies before he opens his mouth. If you're trying to take his profession away from him because he uses that he went to school for in the profession that he does. And you don't even see that you're taking away this man's reality by discrediting what he went to school for. I worked in information operations and psyops and intelligence. And I'm telling you, I can verify what he's saying is right. But that doesn't matter in Antoine's world because in utopia, what Antoine say is law is the most important thing. We're over here trying to be balanced and be reasonable. They're saying that we can't predict what people do. We're not entertainers. We're not athletes. We don't see these people on a regular basis. And all we're saying is that we're having a balanced discussion about it. No matter how it's coming out, it's about what people hear. So that's why you got to be careful about what you say.
I will stand by what I say. I will stand by what I say. I don't have to be careful about shit.
Nobody else is going to stand by what you say.
I will stand by what I say. I don't need nobody defending it. I don't need nobody backing. I will stand with what I say. That's
cool. That's all cool. Everything's cool. Everything's true.
All things are true, Antoine. Just make sure you make that clear. Just make that clear. That's all. Just make that clear.
Oh, it's been clear. We know it's clear with you, Antoine. We know what it is.
There's no need to say it, right? There's no misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding.
That's the funny part. There's always going to be a misunderstanding. That's why I keep saying it's always a conflict.
I can't make it any clearer.
I know you can't. I understand that you can't.
I can't. And even if I did, it'd go in one ear out the next, you know? And you might as well listen to me like this. What do you want me to tell you? I don't know.
Well, There's that respecting
You
other
get it all
people's
out?
perspective.
Go ahead, man. You get it all out. Go ahead.
My bad, man. I'm sorry.
Man, you know what? I'm about to end the show because I want to upload this Joker tonight.
WWE.
I'm opening this Joker
Hey,
tonight.
I appreciate you just including me in this panel. I enjoy it. I truly enjoy it.
Yeah, man.
And I don't take anything personal, Antoine.
No,
so
please don't.
it's not.
Please.
I don't
Please
roll
don't.
like that. You know what I mean? Just
Please
like you
don't.
said, I know I stand on my own too, and I know who I am, so I'm not easily offended. So
Yeah, exactly. That's why when people use words very wrongly and they say, "Oh, you're mad," or no.
But all I was
No.
saying, just like what Vic said, I'm not gonna take that away. You have to be careful of how you use your words with certain people. That's
I agree
all
with
the
that.
point that I was making with society and how we live. That's all I was saying.
No. I listen. I get it, but I get what he's saying. But all I'm saying is this: for me, what comes out of my mouth, I stand by what I say. And if you need me to repeat it, I'll
Right.
repeat it.
So that's what I'm saying. So
That's
be
what I'm saying.
careful because it
But
might
I
end
know
up like
what I'm
Chris
saying.
Rock.
No, because all I'm saying is this: I know where my environment is, I know where I'm going, and I know how to conduct myself. And no matter where I came from, it ain't coming out. I know how I was raised.
Not
I know
about
how I was
sometimes.
raised.
Sometimes is in Coach and Garfield. I respect you guys' perspective, but sometimes Antoine is not about where you're from. Sometimes you just can't. You don't know how a man is gonna react to being disrespected.
That's right. So if I know exactly, so if I know I'm in that kind of man's environment or space, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. But if I know I'm going into his space and I open my mouth unwillingly, I deserve whatever I get. But when I know I'm going to a place where it's gonna be like that, I'm gonna step back and go, you know what? Let me just use my common sense. The one does not outweigh the many. I'm just saying, because that's the way I was taught. That's all. When I'm in your house, I'm gonna take off my shoes. And I'm not gonna let my past dictate how I act in the future. No, that ain't gonna happen. No.
But you just said you know how you was raised.
I do.
Is that not in the past?
Yeah, but when my father taught me certain things and I was raised properly, I ain't gonna let how I used to be at 16, 17 affect me today.
Who was you running around smacking up at 16 to 17, Antoine?
Really?
I'm asking.
No, you're not.
No, I am.
No,
because you said
no, you're not. No, you're not.
What? I'm asking the question. I asked the question based on your past.
No, you're not.
Oh man.
No. But all I'm saying is just know your environment. That's all. Like I said, and I'll say it again, don't walk into a 7-course dinner meal with a fucking spoon. The fuck?
Is that a etiquette school reference?
That was an etiquette school joke.
Exactly. Hey, Coach, exactly.
That right there captures everything tonight. Everything.
That's why I was laughing. I wasn't laughing at the joke.
You know what I'm saying? Like this man grew up poodles and chihuahuas and shit.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? To my etiquette school. Like, I'm sorry, Will Smith didn't go to etiquette school. He was West Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground the way he spent most of his days.
Now referring to the
he told y'all what it was in the Fresh Prince song. Y'all thought it was just a goofy show. He said, "I was born and raised in West Philadelphia."
We don't really. I mean,
when people tell you that, they letting you know your lips can get slapped off. That's all they say.
I don't know how he was raised. I ain't gonna speak on how he was. I don't know how he was raised. I know where he's from. It is Philadelphia, but I don't know how he was raised. I don't know if his parents were together. I don't know nothing about that. His history like that.
This is why I say it's a social construct.
That's why I say it's a social construct. You don't know anything about them.
Exactly.
It's not that. It's the
you're bringing the point back. You're giving it back.
Yeah, I told you talk long enough, you'll be a hypocrite. And that's exactly what he's talking about. You just said you don't know how he was raised, and he told you that was a social construct earlier. And then you just told him back the same thing he said to you earlier.
Dude, all I'm saying is, man,
put some hot sauce on it and eat
it. There's certain time and place for everything. Know your place, know where you're at. If you're not comfortable where you're going, don't go. Oh, Lord, don't go. You know what I mean?